Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. This video is part 3 of an 8-part video series that I'm doing where I am unboxing a 25-book modern submission that I just got back from CGC. All the books in this submission are X-Men themed, and I am an X-Men fan, so I'm very, very excited about this submission. Now, all these books were sent to CGC and CCS for pressing back in May of 2021, and I'm recording this video now at the end of July 2022. So it took a year and 2 months thereabout for these books to get pressed and graded and returned to me. So I've been waiting a very, very long time for them, and I'm very, very excited about them. So what we're going to do in this video, since it's a test your comic book grading skills video, is we are going to look at video that I made of these books when they were raw, before I sent them off to CGC. We are going to assess the books for any flaws, any damage, anything that might affect the grade negatively. Then we are going to give our best guess as to what we think the grade might be. After we've done that, we are going to pull out the next 3 books from this box, and we're going to see what the results were. What grade did CGC actually give the books? Oh, I'm very, very excited. I can't wait anymore. This has been a lot of fun making the first 2 videos. I'm hoping that this one continues to be as fun. So let's not waste any more time, and let's go ahead and take a look at the next 3 books when they were raw.
All right, first up we have Wolverine, issue number 8. Yeah, Patch and Joe Fix It. This is such a fun book. And in really good condition. That white spot you see kind of off the edge of his claw there, I think that's a printing thing and won't be too bad. You can tell there are some spine stresses there. This is why I recommend bouncing light off the top. You can see the way the light kind of bends, increases, and little things like that. Sometimes you can catch them easier than with the naked eye. So you can see that there are a few of them there. They're minor, but they're there, and they do appear to break color a little bit. All the books in this submission are being pressed, whether they need it or not. I've said it before. I press all the books that I send to CGC. I get them done at CCS, and I consider it great insurance. The only ones I don't do, that white dot is printing, I believe, as well. The only ones I don't do are select 9/8 pre-screen submissions. But other than that, I press everything. Now, other than those white dots, which, I mean, you could argue with me and tell me that, yes, those 3 white dots are flaws. They're not in every single copy of that book. They will hurt the grade. I would listen to that argument, but I'm not so sure that it's going to be so bad. It looked pretty good there, except for the color-breaking spine ticks on the front. This majorly black cover here on the back looks pretty good. I don't see any flaws immediately. I'm going to have a bit of trivia later in this video about the back of this cover. Looks like there might be a little color rub there in the black, but looks okay. Maybe a little color rub there at the end of the sword in the black. So I don't think it's a 9/8 book, clearly, with the color breaking spine ticks. The color rub is questionable. I am going to put this in a 9/4 category. Next up, we have X-Men 108. Man, at first glance, this book looks really, really good. There's a slight miswrap there, which is exposing a little bit more white on this front cover. It's hiding some of the flaws a little bit, but there are spine ticks in there, little stresses. Whether or not they break color is questionable. The press will help them a little bit, but won't get rid of them. They are a flaw, they're there, but they look so minor to me. Other than that, this book looks really, really good. I don't really see much by way of flaws. There might be a little bit of a light color-breaking crease there in the top left-hand corner. Pay special attention to this corner. This corner looks really good to me. The rest of this looks really, really good. Yeah, I mean, the front of this book looks really, really good to me. It's not perfect, but it looks really, really good. I'm going to point out something to you because I know something you don't know right now, or even I don't know. Anyways, look at that top right-hand corner very carefully. On the back here, we have what appears to be a nice crease, nice creasing in there in the top left-hand corner. This looks really dirty. That will clean up a lot, and there appears to be a crease there. That might go away if they do a good enough job pressing. Once again, all of those dark marks were dirt, and I think we'll clean up. Yeah, like that, I think is dirt, and we'll clean up. Maybe not completely gone, but a lot of it's going to go away. My concern are these creases right here. My original assessment was 9.4, but I think that's generous. And finally, we have X-Men 109. This book looks also pretty good, but you can immediately see that it's not perfect. There are some color-breaking spine ticks. They're very small, but they're there. That corner's a little more damaged than I would prefer. I think it'll hurt the grade. But yeah, you see those ticks. They're minor, but there's a handful of them there. That corner is also not great. There's some color rub, it looks like, there along the top. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little something there in the corner. I mean, it's a pretty good looking copy. I'll give you that. I mean, you got to give me that, right? Here on the back, that is problematic. That looks like a little bit of a crease there. I bet you they'll be able to clean that up a little bit, but the broken fibers is something that they will see. They will give that a negative grade. That looks like I think that would clean up for the most part. Maybe not go away, but I think a lot of that's going to clean up with the cleaning press. Not some of that. That kind of like dirty, creasy area, that's not going to go away completely. I think a lot of that will clean up. I mean, all in all, it's pretty good. That corner is a big problem, though. All in all, I think it is going to get a 9.0.
All right, so now you've had the opportunity to assess the next 3 books from this submission that we're talking about in this video when they were raw. You have given your best guess as to what you think the grade might be. I've shared with you what I think the grade might be. In fact, I have them all listed here on this piece of paper that I made well over a year ago. Now it's time to see what the results from CGC are. Now you're ahead of me on this, as you are in all of these videos. You know what the next 3 books are going to be, but I don't, because I haven't looked inside the box. I'm just working from one side to the other blindly to see what comes out next, and it does not exactly match this list at all. So I am going to be surprised at what is next. Okay, I know what the back feels like, so I can bring it out of my peripheral vision face down. I'm going to cover up the grades, and I'm going to hold it up so that you can see the book. And so the next book we're going to be talking about is Wolverine issue number 8. This is from his ongoing solo series. Now, let's see. I said that I thought this book was going to get a 9.4. All right, so you have your guess in mind as well. Let's go ahead and see what grade CGC gave it. Okay, was I right? Was I wrong? Was I wrong in a way I'm going to be happy about? Let's see. A 9.6. Okay, That's great. That's fine for me. It's been a bit of a theme that we saw in the last video, part 2 of this series, and that is I am a little bit, especially then, about a year ago, I'm trying to be more accurate now, but a year ago when I submitted these, I tried to be a little bit harsh on the grade, just a little bit overgrading it because I wanted to protect my investment. Whenever I submit to CGC, I factor in the cost of the book when it was raw, how much it's going to cost for me to grade and press it, and then I want to make sure that my cost does not exceed what the value is going to be. And in order to assess the value, I need to be able to give my best guess as to what the grade would be. So at a 9.4, I figured, okay, it's going to be worth it to me to submit this book. And in a 9.6, it absolutely was. So this is really, really great. This is a book that I bought brand new off the rack when I was a kid, when it came out. So I'm really glad that it survived all this time to come back a 9.6. Just one grade increment above the 9.4 that I was expecting. So that's good, that's good. I'm always okay with being one grade increment off, higher or lower, but I would much rather overgrade, meaning giving a harsher grade like a 9.4 and getting the 9.6 as a result. So that's really, really great, and I'm happy about that. Let's move on to the next book. As always, pulling it out face down, covering up the grades, and showing you what the book is. This book is, oh wait, is this X-Men 108? This is, no. It was 103. Okay, there's a super special book that's going to be coming. I don't know if it'll come today, but we'll see. It's be coming up in a later video if it doesn't come today. It's something that I'm really excited about. But this isn't it. This is X-Men 108. This is just a great classic X-Men book. Now, I thought that this was going to get a 9.4, which is a really good grade for a book this old. I'm looking really hard because I want to make sure I'm getting this correct. All right, X-Men 108 in a 9.4. Let's go ahead and show you what grade we got. Okay, is it a 9.4? Is it better? Is it worse? Let's see. 8.5. Wow, that's way off from my guess. That is fantastically off from my guess. Okay. Wow, this looks like a way better book than an 8.5. I am extremely surprised about that. So we will be doing a little bit of post-grading analysis with this book. We're going to look over it again, and I'm going to see if I can't figure out what gave this book an 8.5, and maybe the grader's notes might help us out with that. So this is the first big disappointment from this submission, and that is too bad. 9.4 to an 8.5 is a huge miss on my part. So as disappointed as I am about that, hopefully this will be an opportunity to learn something and see if I can't see some things that I might have missed. Wow, I'm surprised because this book looks way better. I'm just looking at it right now. Looks way better than an 8.5. So it goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the last book that we are going to be looking at in today's video. Once again, pulling it out face down, covering up the grades, and taking a look. Oh, this is X-Men 109. This is the first appearance of Weapon Alpha. Is that what it's called? I'm going to have to look at that again in just a minute. And confirm, I forget, yes, what the first appearance is of that guy, you know. I think it's called, Weapon Alpha, I think he's called. But anyways, let's get on with it. I thought the grade would be a 9.0. Now, I've been doing really well so far in these videos with my grades in general, so I'm a little thrown off by that last one. So now I'm a little gun-shy and afraid that this might be a lot worse than I thought it was. But let's see, once again, yes, I thought it would be a 9.0, so what is it? Okay, am I going to be really upset again? Or am I going to be okay? A 9.2. Okay, so we're back on track with what my expectation is. I was 1 grade increment below the actual grade, so there is some consistency there as far as my grading. I've been off by 1 grade increment below the actual grade a lot. So that's reassuring to me because now I know that at least there is some consistency there in my ability to grade, which makes me really wonder what did I miss in that X-Men 108. But so it goes, you know, the CGC are the professionals, and we're going to learn something about that. So let's go ahead and do a quick little post-mortem about that one book right now.
All right, I'm going to try something here that I haven't done before. I'm going to do a little side-by-side analysis. Clearly on the left, you have the book when it was raw. You've seen this video already earlier in this video. And then on the right is new video that I made of this book now that it's in its holder, obviously. So when you look at this at first glance, they all seem exactly the same. Condition seems exactly the same. It's exactly like you would expect. Surprisingly, this was an instance where grader's notes became very, very helpful because it pointed me right to what I missed before. You'll see where it's raw on the left there, I freezed it. It looks pretty good, but on the right there, you can see there's some pretty heavy creases right top of front cover right there. You can see them kind of there. They're not easy to see. Yeah, I tried to highlight them so that you could see them a little better. This is some other lighting conditions right there. You can see them from the other side. So yeah, there are creases there that I didn't see before. And it is my firm belief that the number one reason that people do not get the grade that they were expecting is because there were creases that they did not see. And creases are very bad for the grade. Same with this one right here. I underestimated these creases there on the corner. The press helped it out a little bit, but you can still see the black line there where the crease still exists even after the press and clean. Like I said, they did a good job, but they did not disappear it. And these types of creases, because they're not tiny little stresses on the spine, I mean, they're over 1.5 inches long on the back there, and on the front, I'd say they're probably less than 1.5 inches each, but there's 2 of them. So these type of creases are absolutely going to hurt the grade. If this book had no creases, it might get the 9.4, but with the creases that it has, I understand the 8.5.
All right, well, that was some really beneficial post-grading analysis. At least it was for me. After doing it, I now have a better understanding of why it got the 8.5 grade that it got. And I have to say, in hindsight, I agree with CGC's grading. I think it got an 8.5 and deserved an 8.5. Now, what happened in this instance is I fell victim to what I believe is the number one reason why people get lower grades on their books than they expected, and it is because that they missed creases. Sometimes creases are hard to see with the naked eye. Sometimes they're hard to see with a video of a raw book that I put into a YouTube video. Bottom line, sometimes they're very, very hard to see. So it's important that you do what you can to try to find them. And I always recommend taking your books to areas with bright overhead lighting so that it like reflects a circle of light onto your book, and use that circle to kind of like Zamboni your way across the book. It will show you if there are any flaws. It will react to any creases and really show them to you. And this is important because if you're not doing it, CGC is. And if you don't do it, you're going to have a bad expectation for your book. But CGC is going to do it, and they're going to see those creases, and they're going to find them, and they're going to give the book the grade they deserve. So protect yourself, protect your investment, protect your expectations by making sure you look really, really hard for those creases. Because the ones on the front, I mean, they were hard to see with the naked eye. They were hard for me to see at first, you know, when I first was like, after reading the grader's notes and looking for them. But once I bounced some light off of that area, they popped right out and they were plain as day. And then in addition, I just want to mention that the crease on the back was not disappeared, and I might have actually, I never thought that it was going to get completely disappeared. Once certain creases are like folds, they are deep enough, they break the fibers of the paper, and no press is going to fix that at all. Not from CCS, not from the best third-party presser. No fixing of that. You might see from some pressing services a before photo with a deep fold or crease, and then an after photo where it's disappeared. Odds are it is not disappeared. Odds are it is still there, and the after photo they're showing you is just in lighting that is favorable to disappearing that crease or making it look like it disappeared. Why it's always important to do what I said. Bounce light right off of it and take a look to try to find those creases to make sure you don't get burned like I did on this book. Anyways, that's enough. I hope this is all really helpful to you. If you appreciate it, likes are appreciated by me. If you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.